everybody, and welcome to our super amazing Sci-Fi Opposite Worlds cast preview show. Oh, we are so excited for this cast preview because we are going to be covering Opposite Worlds all season long, every Thursday after the Wednesday night live elimination show. We're also doing cast blogs about it in case you guys need to catch up. We're going to be live tweeting it during the shows every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we have so much in store for you guys. But, let me just give you one or two little notes first. Of course, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It really helps support all of our shows and lets us keep bringing you guys stuff like this. Of course, so does using that Amazon.com link over on the homepage of YourRealityRecaps.com, or simply making a donation directly to us. They're all great ways to help the show, but the easiest and simplest, freest way that you can do it is just share our shows on social media, tell your friends about us, thumbs up, and subscribe. Of course, you guys should also know by now we're doing live daily vlogs on days that we don't have show days. And they're like short little 5-minute videos. They let you see into our personal life, behind the scenes stuff. They're funny. You guys should definitely check them out over at YourRealityRecaps.com/vlog. And of course, if you guys want to watch us do our shows live, you can check out our live show page over at YourRealityRecaps.com/live show. And that's where you can watch them live before the edited version goes up. Speaking of those edited versions, comment in the section below on YouTube because we love interacting with all of you. And same thing goes for the live shows. You can interact with us live and we'll even ask your questions and answer them on the show. But all right, enough about all that. We need to get to our cast preview show with interview with the one and only Luke Tipple from Capture, and now, of course, the host of Opposite Worlds. But here's the best part. We're being joined by a special guest from Capture. Or I'll just tell you it's James. Sorry, James, for injuring intro. But it's really good because James is going to have insight on Luke. I asked Luke about James, and we're just going to break down everything about what you guys can expect on the premiere of Opposite Worlds tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. So shut up, Eric. Tell the people where they can find you. Okay, I'm over on Twitter at Reality Recaps. And who's here with me?
Hey, everyone, it's John Richardson. So excited to talk about Opposite Worlds. The more I read, the more I like. You can follow me on Twitter at ComedyJonah.
Hey guys, I'm James Wallington. I'm so excited to talk about Opposite Worlds. You can follow me on Twitter at James Wallington, and I cannot wait to hear what Luke Tipple has to say.
Did you guys know that there's another world? It's not just the past and the future.
What?
Is it the present?
It totally is the present. It totally is the present.
You sound like you're in another world, okay?
Wait, is it really part of like the game, the structure of the game, or is that just like a joke that they're living in the present even though there's, the future and the past?
No, they are obviously living in the past and in the future, but when they are competing, they come into the present to compete, and Luke kind of facilitates their challenges. They have team challenges and they have individual challenges.
Huh.
I also think it's pretty interesting because pretty much the fans control the way this show goes down. Apparently, there's this whole, what did they call it? Oh, a popularity index on Twitter. So whenever you guys tweet the name of the cast member that you like with the hashtag Opposite Worlds, then you can say whatever you want about them, and that will fluctuate how they get rewards or punishments in the show. Pretty much fans are really controlling this show. So talk shit away.
So we know that the fans have a big role in this with rewards, punishment. Now, is it all done just via Twitter, or is it?
It is basically, it's all Twitter. So you have to hashtag Opposite Worlds with the name of the cast member that you like and whatever you want to say about them or whatever you don't like about them. And then their little algorithm is going to sort it all out and, reward them based on that. We really don't have a lot of the details until tomorrow night when the show goes live, but there's definitely going to be a huge social media interaction with the show. So
well, I think they've done like a good job at already introducing that, because they already have 4 contestants that are kind of on hold, that people who are already in tune or interested in Opposite Worlds, they can go to the Opposite Worlds page on SyFy's website and vote for which female and male contestant they would like to see enter the game in tomorrow's premiere. So that is kind of cool that we get to have like a hand, like an opinion on 2 people entering the house.
Yes, I love these people that have the chance to enter the house. It's not actually, spoiler alert, everyone, they are entering in on week 3 of the show. They're not going to be there tonight. It'll be part of some twist. And I forget what the guy's name is. Steven. Steven is who I endorse. He is a hot Quidditch player. He's nerd hot, and I love him. He's one of the people who can be voted into the show when it, I guess, week 3. So that is super exciting. Who do you like of the people that have the chance to come in, James?
I like him as well, and I didn't know what you were tweeting about initially when you were like, I endorse him, and I was like, who is he talking about? And then when I read up on him, I watched his casting tape. I didn't even need to watch the other guy's tape because he just seemed so relatable, and I like what you just said. He's like this cute little endearing Quidditch player, and I think that he would be entertaining as a character for this new show. So he's someone that I would like to see actually play the game.
Yeah, I really hope that he makes it. He needs to, because he's so adorable. Now, here's another little fun fact. The people in the past, their team name is Epoch, and the future world team is Kronos, and then they go and they battle in a team challenge, and whichever team wins gets to decide, are they going to be in the future world or in the past for that week. Once again, I do not understand why anybody would choose the past. I don't get the benefit of why anybody would go to the past. It's they don't have food, they don't have heat, they have to prepare their own food. There's only a wall, Luke said, with water trickling down it that they have to collect the water in for the entire week. That is how they have to get. And my God. Yeah, and let's be clear. I don't mean water to drink. I mean water for anything. You want to take a shower? That's your water supply. No. So you better. Oh yeah, you want to flush your toilet hole? Yep,
well,
that's your
flush your toilet hole. Nice.
What would be a positive or a perk about being in the past is if I'm in the past and I haven't experienced the future, I'm going to fight 10 times harder to do whatever I can to either enter the future side of the house. Because I feel like if you kind of enter this routine of, oh, I'm relaxed and I'm comfortable, you might lose sight of what the competition is really all about. And I feel like when something's stripped from you, you're going to fight harder to gain that control. So that might be one of the positives. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
No, that is brilliant. And I want everybody to comment below. I'm so glad you took that standpoint, James, because that is exactly kind of what Luke says. I completely disagree. I don't need to not have food, water, clothes to understand that I'm playing a game for $100,000. I'm good. I'll sit over here. He said they get iPads and television. Okay? So I'm just saying, I'll be motivated enough over here in the future. I don't need to be sleeping on the dirt and the sticks to be motivated. Is what I'm saying. You guys comment below and let me know what you think. What do you think, John?
I was kind of thinking that the past was maybe more of the punishment, right? I mean, it sounds like gathering water from a watery wall to flush your toilet hole sounds like a punishment to me.
There is going to be punishments which do relate to food, comfort, and stuff like that. All of the punishments and rewards will have to do with that. However, nope, you're in the past. You have to, you get your food limited. James, you know what that's all about. Yeah. And in the future, you can do whatever you want. I want to see if they really have a television and an iPad, though, because we're making a television show here. Could you just, because I would totally be off in the corner like, yeah, Well, I'll.
But I mean, are they, you know, I mean, as far as television, are they watching like reruns of Will and Grace? I mean, or is it just they're limited to it, right?
Hey,
or
now that doesn't sound all that bad.
It doesn't sound all that bad. Or they have the Hulu app on their iPad. I mean, you know, I think they're still limited. I think they're still, but they have to be. They can't just sit there.
There might be like a curfew.
Yeah.
You know, that's
like a time frame. Like they can only watch TV or use their apps between like 3 and 5 of a day, you know?
I would be like, guys, my show is on. I have to recap right now. I have to go do a recap in the corner. Which, by the way, there is 24-hour robocams in the house. They're not sure yet if they're going to let us have access to them, though, 24/7. I'm sure we're going to get stuff on social media and on the website. They're still kind of, I think, figuring out if they're going to let us have 24-hour access feed. Although I'm pretty sure they're not, but it'll be interesting because they are recording them 24 hours a day. Love it.
That's awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about these cast members, who we love, who we hate, who we think's going to win. But before we do that, because I want to throw it to you, James, I know that you are going to also be covering Opposite Worlds over on AfterBuzz.
Yes.
And the links to that will be below in the edited version so that you guys can watch James recap it too. But is it one of your fellow AfterBuzz co-hosty people on the show as well?
Oh, yeah. You know, someone that actually is an AfterBuzz host, Jesse, he is going to be on Opposite Worlds, which is one thing that really grabbed my attention about the show to begin with. Because it's always fun to watch a show if you have some sort of connection to someone on it. So I think I'm going to be really invested and obviously rooting for him because he is a fellow AfterBuzzer. And we'll see how he does.
I love me some Jesse because, you know, on the SyFy website, they have like their personal, I guess, Facebook pictures. And I was like, ooh, blonde.
That's not a Facebook picture. Okay.
I'm like, I love it. So, but now they have him listed as model photographer. And he admits that he's not for everyone, and his blunt nature can rub some people the wrong way. Is that true, James? What is he really like?
Well, if you watched Love in the Wild on NBC, he was also a contestant on that like 2 years ago. And if you remember him from that show, that is absolutely the edit he received. He was that blunt, overbearing. You couldn't really take him well because he was kind of the douche. But when I met him, I had the complete opposite perception on him. I thought he was a very sweet guy. Obviously, he can be a little honest, but I really enjoyed having a conversation with him. He's not someone that I wouldn't mind being around, you know? Like, I liked his company when I met him.
Well, good. I cannot wait. Please, he is my first vote for send him to the past because I have a feeling they're going to be wearing loincloths.
I'm also liking Jesse as well. I love a good, like, trailer park story. I like someone who likes Chipotle. So do I. So
we all love a Chipotle.
Maybe Chipotle will endorse him for even putting that in his profile. That's going to be
and reality recaps.
Yeah.
And reality recaps.
Oh, I have already said this. All of you people that are watching that want to go on reality TV shows, you're all fools if you don't have like your little plan of who you want to meet and who you could want to endorse you. Like you should always have your little, I love Tori Spelling or whatever. That should be your thing.
Now that she's single.
Oh, God. We will have to talk about that on our reality check show on Saturday night. So let's talk about Angela from the cast. She's one of, obviously, the women players. She is a VP at a vegan food company, and she calls herself a sci-fi geek who likes quantum physics, so I stopped reading.
Me too, but I stopped reading after she talked about her fiery Brazilian attitude, which, if you have Brazilian friends like I do, oh my gosh, I can't wait for her to throw it down in Portuguese. Oh, no, she didn't.
I think it's just kind of funny how, like, I read that too. She has the Brazilian temper, but she's from Marina Del Rey. She's known for her, like, hippie-like temperament, but she also has a Brazilian temper. Those don't seem to go very hand in hand. So I feel like she's going to be a very complex character to watch because it could go one of two ways. You know, you're either going to probably like her because of her hippie-like temper, or you're going to hate her because of her Brazilian temper.
Right.
So she's going to have to play her cards right.
Well, let us move over to Charles, who is a military reserve boxing coach.
That's where I lost. I'm reading.
Oh, that's where you stop reading? Well, he joined the Marines at 19, then he went into the Army, and apparently now he teaches youth boxing, which could come in handy in some of these team challenges or the individual challenges.
Sounds like the white team.
I think that he'll be likable because if they play up the fact that he's a father of a 15-year-old daughter, people always like that story. If he's competing in any sense for the money to help his daughter, then I think people are going to like him and he could be a popular player. The fact that there's also Wyatt, who's another person from the military in the house, I can see some sort of connection or relationship happening or evolving between the two of them just because of that mutual connection. So it'll be interesting to see how Charles kind of gets in there on a social level in the game.
Right. Well, and I mean, you bring up a really good point. This game has a lot to do with the social media aspect of everything. So, how these people endear themselves to us, America, is really going to either benefit them or hurt them in this game. And I wonder how aware they are of that while they're playing. Because I would throw myself into the past and be like, I have diabetes and I need some food. But look, everybody thinks that, put me on a reality show.
And I would be taking pictures of you with my iPad through the glass, watching you do that.
Sending Snapchat.
I'd be shooting video.
Hashtag at reality recaps. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Wyatt, since I know you both love him. Like James said, he's also military and a public safety driving specialist.
And he's 47. He looks really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of the three things he can't live without is sex. So that's probably why he looks good, because if he's getting it all the time, then his body's looking fine. You know what I'm saying? So
orgasms will tighten your skin.
Yeah. He can't live without sex, surf, or water. And I'm just saying why.
Wait.
Surf and water are like the same thing, so you could kind of maybe have another one.
I think water should be one of your three things, right? Because we all need water, right? Have another one, like Xanax, do something, mix it in with the water.
The water's trickling down the glass, how desperate he's going to be trying to lick or lap up the window just to get that water.
Yeah.
That
is exactly why I think they put that in there for him. Because,
what are you doing? Oh, I'm collecting water for my toilet bowl.
I don't know if you guys watched his audition tape, but his audition tape to me was one of the most well-rounded ones of all the contestants. They showed a lot of various different clips from him being in the military to showing his athletic strengths and his capabilities. And I remember seeing somewhere online, and maybe we briefly discussed it, how they're going to be thrown into this duel of destiny. And I think if it's anything physical, Wyatt's going to come out on top, because he knows how to do really well under pressure from being a part of the military. He's going to come out on top. Yeah, but I also think he's going to be endearing to audiences too, because, he's gone through a lot, having his mom being married 5 times, going to Afghanistan and Iraq. I just feel like he could either be rough around the edges, or he's going to be this person well-rounded that you're going to find yourself really rooting for. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm rooting for him on what I've seen already.
The whole Duel of Destiny thing is apparently where that's like the thing that happens before they get voted out. So that is every Wednesday night. I'm not sure if we're influencing that or if it's the House. I think we do it. I really don't think the House votes people. I think maybe the House just nominates. Luke said that we have to wait to see how it all plays out, but it all falls very interesting.
Well, I think I read a spoiler. Maybe Luke didn't touch on it yet. But
Oh,
from what I read is that every Tuesday night they're going to open up to the public the votes, and I think that's where the strong social media is going to come in, and we're like the decider, and then the players who receive the power from our votes then just selects people to face off against each other in the duel of destiny.
I also love how the show, it's almost like Survivor versus Big Brother. With the glass wall down the middle. Like the past is starving and the future kind of has everything, gets to live in the house. You know, whatever. I think I cannot wait to see how all of the dynamics play out. But let's talk about JR, who's an attorney, so I almost wanted to stop reading. But he's a new attorney, so maybe you're not such a D-bag yet.
But look at his eyes. His eyes are piercing. I don't know if you're looking at his photo right now, but he has beautiful eys. Just going to throw that out there.
Excuse me, everybody knows that I have the best look. No. I also love how he says he frequently gets labeled as argumentative. Oh, really, lawyer? I wouldn't have imagined that.
You're in the perfect profession. You know, the thing that I loved about JR is that he hates people who take gym selfies. Hilarious.
I was just reading that, and if people have those tablets or whatever in the future side and they're working out, can you imagine people taking those gym selfies and him? Yeah, right. In the future, gym selfies.
I don't know why people have such a problem with gym selfies. I love gym selfies. Keep sending them. Hashtag reality recaps. What do we think about one of our blonde ladies, Danielle, who is a sports model and personal trainer, and she loves sports and physical activity and trains 6 days a week and hates breaking from routine?
You have to have that blonde person on the show.
Fitness girl,
I mean, I don't really have an opinion on her so far.
She's wallpaper.
I would just like to see how she does, you know?
Is she glass wallpaper, John? We don't know. This is why I love that we are all talking about them right now, because I can't wait until we get to come back on Thursday after we really, like, people always in this cast preview blow us away once they're on the show and they completely turn it around.
One I think is interesting that I think was really good that they put on here, especially being on the SyFy network, is Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got the red hair. She's a gamer. She's pretty. She's like all of like the geek's kind of wet dream kind of girl, right?
For sure. Which is absolutely worked to her favor when it comes to popularity votes. Because people who like SyFy are going to want to root for her.
Oh my gosh, those gamers are online all the time. They can just click up on a window, tweet it, and she has got their vote.
And it even says that she's a multimedia personality, so she probably already has a huge following. Not to mention, if she's one of the most recognizable gamers in the industry, she's already playing that social media level of the game. And I think that'll work to her favor for sure.
I just think they cast her to piss me off.
And just the whole tagline, too, of bringing grown men to their knees. I mean, gamers are probably just going to explode all over the place.
John totally knows. John, how many times do I call you and I'm like, I just spent 8 hours working on this video and we don't really have a lot of views, but then there's this person playing like Minecraft and they have like 1 million views. I'm sick of these gamers on the YouTube. People, thumbs up and subscribe.
Do a Minecraft recap.
Maybe now I can hashtag this video Minecraft, and we might get some more views.
I'm hashtagging a toilet hole. I'm going to be saying it all week. I cannot stop laughing.
Let us talk about Frank. And look, I will tell you right now, I cannot say anything bad about Frank because A, he is a firefighter, and B, he's from Staten Island, so he can come here and hurt me after the show. But
is he going to be like a male version of Gina Marie from Big Brother, Staten Island?
Yeah, I can't wait.
One can only hope. One can only hope. I'm just, no offense, Frank, if you're watching this in the future. I just don't think you're really Gina Marie's type, but I would love it if we could, pair him and Gina Marie up. He was a former New York City police officer, and he's described as good-natured and, cash-strapped and Italian Catholic. Okay, it's like
Mhm.
his profile is like an online dating profile. You're on a reality show.
But you know what? This profile is actually, to me, I think it's going to do him a really good favor in the game because he seems like your well-rounded East Coast family man. And everyone loves that father figure. And I think that people are going to want to root for him because, he was on force during 9/11. So he already has strong backstory. Not to mention, if you're gregarious and good-natured, then that's someone that people want to be around. So I think Frank is going to see someone we're going to see do really well as far as longevity in the game.
The people that have, like you say, the most endearing stories, the most spin they can put on their reality TV storyline is going to get them the furthest in this game if we, the people, are the ones controlling it. So what do we think about Jeffrey, who is a nonprofit coordinator? Is that a job? Is that a job? Who pays you? You're not making a profit.
The grants that you get pay you.
He's family. He's openly gay, so here's our gay character on the show. And women love a good gay, and they're probably going to warm up to him in the game. But one thing that drives me insane is he doesn't have an E in Jeffrey at the end of his name, and I just want to fix that for him because the way he spells his name is a little obnoxious.
Please, all the gay people with this.
It's hard with our gay accent to not say Jeffrey without the E.
And it's really annoying when you have to blog the show and autocorrect keeps changing it for you, and you're like, nope, there is no E in that name. Just like when autocorrect, every time I type Luke, it thinks I'm saying like. Nope, I'm actually typing a person's name autocorrect. Thank you. So this cast with their names.
I like Jeffrey though. I mean, the more I read about him, he really he's a mentor for high school students, and I think that's something that people are gonna like. I think he's just gonna be a different type of. He's gonna be a new breed of gay on this show.
God.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah, when we all heard that, I was going to save it for the end, but this is probably a good point to just shove it in here. You guys can also go back and check out the show we just did with James the other day. We did like a big capture reunion with him and the green team and the purple team and the gray team, and they tell us about, what kind of went on in capture, which is actually relevant to this show because the host, Luke Tipple, was also the host of James's show of Capture, the CW. So, whatever. We're going to talk more about that at the end, though. Let us talk about Lauren, who is an adventures instructor. She can't live without a decaf, grande, skinny vanilla latte, her fan, and Dateline. Okay, what do we think of Lauren?
I'm sorry, who are we talking about?
I know, the other blonde.
The other blonde is right.
As soon as I read the non-fat skinny latte, I was like,
but I shouldn't talk. I just had to Google what fulcrum meant.
Isn't that what Erica did on no, that's not what Erica did on Capture? What was it called? Like her whole tumbling, flipping?
Oh, no, it's not parkour. No.
Parkour.
Fulcrum, the definition says the point of which a lever rests or is supported and on which it pivots. So what is a fulcrum adventure instructor?
She knows a lot of good positions. That's apparently what it must mean. Yeah, she's a firecracker. She describes herself as the biggest firecracker on the 4th of July. I have a feeling you're going to fizzle out real soon on this show.
No, you know what? I'm reading more as you keep going in that paragraph. You guys, she'll be underestimated because she was a valedictorian. And if she plays this blonde side up and it could work to her favor, she could be a really intelligent person to watch and really want to see her do well because,
We also see photos of Lauren jumping out of like airplanes, so she's obviously a lot tougher than we think she is.
I mean, she's 100% fulcrum. She's super adventurous.
She's so fulcrum, like fulcrum to the maximum.
Super pivoted. You can do it.
That's what I'm taking away from this recap. It's fulcrum and toilet hole.
So what do we think of our blonde number 3, Sam, who's a medical supplies distributor, aka the person that walks in the doctor office when you all are waiting to go in, and she's like, I just need to talk to the doctor for a minute, and then you get delayed like 20
rolling
minutes.
The rolling case of pills that cut you off. I like her. I've been putting pills in my hair to go.
If you watch her audition, she's the other person I actually watched her audition video, and I was really turned off at the beginning when she's like, the reason why I'm gonna win is because I'm attractive and I'm smart. The fact that she put attractive first is not really something that's gonna help you win the game. So I was already turned off to the next, minute 30 seconds of her audition tape. Like, why would you put I'm attractive and then smart? Like, own up to, if you're smart, say I'm smart, but I'm also attractive, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little harsh on her.
No, we have to. We have to be harsh on people. We have to be harsh and we have to be funny. That's what we have to do. We have to hate and love them all just a little bit. Otherwise, if we loved everybody this season, it would be boring.
But she's going to have the drugs, so I would still be her BFF. Especially in the past. I'd be popping his antics and licking that water wall.
I don't think they're allowed personal items from home. I never know how to say this name. Is it Lizette?
Lizette.
It is Lizette? Okay, I am right.
It's like Josette, but Lizette.
Okay, well, Lizette, I love you. She is a nurse from Tucson, Arizona. She is a proud Catholic, African-American. Oh, wait, she is a proud Catholic African-American father and Jewish Caucasian mother. What? How did I not read that sentence before? Let's just read it one time.
How could she be a father and a mother?
Oh, she's the product. See, helping to read. When I read all the words, then we are good. I thought she was saying she was Catholic, African-American, Jewish, and Caucasian. So it's interesting. Oh, James back. Yay. Hi, James. So, what do you think of her, John? Go ahead.
Well, when you first read her bio, I was thinking, how can she be both a father and a mother? Does she have both parts?
So, what do you think of her, James?
Are we talking about Lizette?
Lizette.
Yeah, you know what? I like her. I think she has a lot of spice to her. And yeah, that's all I have to say about her for right now, I think. I'm a little indifferent. I didn't get a lot from her audition tapes. So.
I cannot wait what elephant she's going to address in the room.
Oh my God.
It's her bio, everyone, where she says that she's not afraid to call out the elephants in the room. Unfortunately, there is only the beautiful people on this show, so I don't think there are any elephants to call out. So that's a quick little rundown of who the cast is currently that we will all be seeing tomorrow night. But as it stands right now, and we can't pick with the person coming back in, who, if you guys have to pick right now, is your pick to win? And I'm going to throw it to you guys first. John, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I'm torn between Jeffrey with no E and Jesse.
Okay, I didn't ask you to be torn between two people. I said it is our
Don't tell me how to feel. Don't tell me how to feel.
You do this every time, James.
Don't tell me how to feel.
I even let people switch in the middle. He'll keep picking like 4 people. He'll be like, I like this cast. One of them.
I'm the leader of how I feel, Eric.
Okay, leader. Who's your choice?
Jeffrey.
I can see why you were torn between two people, because I do think Jeffrey's going to fare really well in the competition, but I'm not necessarily torn because I'm really strongly about being Team Wyatt. There's something about Wyatt that I really like, and I think he has the potential to really take it all the way.
I'm going to go completely...
I'm going to watch his audition video then.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take
it... There was some magic in there.
Yeah, I'm going to take it a completely different way, and I'm going to say I am all Team Jesse, and for completely superficial reasons, I want him in the past, in a loincloth. I want some all Jesse all the time. Plus, he's after Buzzy and does stuff like this. So I think he has a good background. He knows reality TV. I think he is going to understand how to hopefully maneuver through this well enough. But as of right now, and I will let you both change mid-season, I'm picking Jesse. You guys make sure that you comment below and let us know who you all think are going to win over, on YouTube where you're watching this.
Watch one of the people that get voted in win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not really fair, and I could see this kind of creating a little bit of Big Brother drama. These people are, according to Luke, which, everybody, that interview is coming up in a few minutes right after we're done with this, they're basically coming in mid-season. They're coming in week 3. The entire season is only 6 weeks long. It's only 6 episodes.
Wow.
So for them to come in
really?
the middle of... Yeah, it's only, but I don't mean 6 episodes, I'm sorry, 12 episodes, because there's 2 episodes a week, but it only runs for 6 weeks. It actually ends the week that The Amazing Race All-Stars starts, which, thank God, couldn't be any better for us.
Yes, so true, so true.
Yes. So this is perfect because, of course, we're covering All-Stars and Amazing Race All-Stars and Survivor. So much stuff here if you guys click around realityrecaps.com. So, James, what are you looking most forward to this season of SyFy Opposite Worlds?
Well, truthfully, I'm a big fan of Luke Tipple, and maybe it's because I'm biased for being on Capture with him. I really like the guy a lot, and I respect him and what he does with his work. So it's going to be fun seeing him host a whole new show. I definitely think this concept is going to shock a lot of people. I can see it doing really, really well, especially with the social media component added to it. I'm going to have fun with it because I feel like I'm involved with the show, not just an audience person on my couch. Like, I'm going to be determining the fate of the people I'm watching. So that's going to be fun as a reality fan, and I'm just excited to just see how it all plays out because it's completely new. It's a whole fresh idea.
I want to say this because it kind of ties into what James just said. So I was listening to Rob Cesternino's podcast, and everybody knows we love us some Rob Cesternino, and I probably should have talked to him about this before because you'll kind of know I'm just kidding. But here's my point. He said they have so many followers over at robhaspodcast.com that him and all of his followers are going to get to control what happens and the social media aspect of this show. So I'm throwing the gauntlet down, Rob Cesternino and all you RHAPers. Our reality recap fans are going to control this. So you just, I'm throwing the gauntlet down is what I'm doing.
Hey, you know what, Eric? We can have an alliance. We got AfterBuzz and your reality recaps going on here. And
exactly.
Against one.
It is.
I just can't wait to see how the two worlds kind of intertwine, especially like with challenges and stuff. I'm really interested in seeing that.
All right, look, I'm knocking both of you out of here because I want full screen on me to say, look, we went over the cast, we went over the twist, we went over what the show's going to be like. We know what you guys think and what everyone is commenting on below. But we need to get to the real good stuff. Not that you guys aren't good. I'm not saying you guys aren't good. I'm just saying we have Luke. We have Luke Tipple here now live on the phone. He is going to elaborate on some of the stuff that we just talked about as well as some stuff that we didn't. So let's get his insight on everything and then I'll bring you guys back and we can, wrap up the whole entire show. So let's roll that interview. Ooh, fading. Hey, Luke, how you doing?
G'day, Eric. Good, mate.
So we are so excited for the Opposite Worlds premiere tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern on SyFy. And, to us, we cover reality TV and competition shows. And, Opposite Worlds being new, we don't really know a lot about it. It seems kind of like Big Brother meets Survivor. So we were hoping you could tell us a little bit more about it.
Sure. If you've got fans of Big Brother and Survivor, it's a reasonable analogy to say that it's kind of it has elements of both, but it is its own unique competition. In its most basic form, we have 6 competitors, two teams of 6 competitors, and they live inside a great big house, half of which is themed to the future, and half of which is themed to the past. There's a glass wall that divides them. So they have to live and exist in this world. There's no luxurious hotel rooms that they go back to. They are sequestered there for the 6 weeks and for as long as they can stick around and not get eliminated. And people in the past are living in fairly primitive conditions. They're clothed in animal skins and eating raw foods and cooking over fire if they can even start it. In the future, they're, pretty much every whim is met. They can kick it and relax and drink champagne and eat whatever they like. And then every week we pull them out for a team challenge and also an individual challenge, one of which, the loser of which will be eliminated. And a lot of that is voted on and participated on by the general public, by America, through Twitter and Facebook and website interaction, as well as, phone and text. So it's really cool that we can get America actually involved in, blow-by-blow action. And the key to it all, of course, is on Wednesday night, the episode is live. So you're going to see somebody live eliminated, and a lot of that will be contributed to by people's tweets.
Right. Well, that brings up actually a great fan question that we have for you from Dana Goodyear over on Twitter. And she says, how much will Twitter and other social media aspects affect the outcome of the game? To expand on that, I know that there is going to be the popularity index where how people actually tweet about the players is going to impact them in the game. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. There's a number of different ways that people can get involved, and we hope that they use all of them. The Twitter Popularity Index, which is presented by Verizon, is an algorithm which tracks people's tweets when they use hashtag opposite worlds and when they reference a specific player's name. So what it will actually do is if they say, Eric is the greatest guy on the planet, I hope he wins this competition, that might get a score out of 100 of like 95, which is very, very positive. If they say, I can't stand Eric, I hope he gets eliminated this week, he needs to leave, that would probably score very, very lowly. And those cumulative scores get added up onto the leaderboard, and the most popular player every week will get a reward. The least popular will be punished. So in that way, people can very actively participate in how they feel about their particular characters. The actual punishments and rewards are yet another way people can contribute, because we'll give America the option of choosing between 3 punishments and 3 rewards. Those will be posted on the website. And again, you'll get to vote on which particular punishment and reward those players will receive.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what types of punishments or rewards there'll be, or is that a secret until we're all tuning in?
We have to leave some things for the show,
right.
But I'm quite okay with you asking things like that. But I will say that they're going to be themed to their particular environment. So let's say that if somebody from the past is the most popular and they win a reward, the rewards might be something, luxurious that doesn't perhaps exist in the past, some way for them to get a little bit of relief from perhaps the cold or the dirtiness or the hunger that they're currently experiencing. Conditions over there are really quite brutal. They're not nice. Even after just a few days of living in there, I'm seeing, a little bit of weight come off the people. They're tired. Interestingly enough, they're kind of getting a little bit, stronger, and they're working together as a team, which is a very interesting aspect of living in the past. If you look over the other side of the glass ball at the people in the future, again, they're kind of kicking it. They have no reason to work harder. So yeah, in that way, the punishments and rewards will work with those people as they're living in their environments. And I can't say much more about them, but right. They'll be good in both senses.
So let's talk about the glass wall now for a moment, because I feel like this is almost another player in the game, sort of speak, because it kind of divides the house and it lets each side, the past and the future, kind of look at each other. How is that dynamic, playing out?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It is a third player. I think of it as kind of a psychological barrier. They really can't communicate easily across it. We in no way restrict them from looking at each other and trying to communicate through there. So there's going to be some interesting dynamics in how certain members from each team perhaps communicate, or perhaps try to, maybe they're going to try to work together. But it's a strange kind of feeling, I know, for particularly the people in the past, as they're sitting there in dirt and bark and sticks and stones, and they're going to the toilet in essentially a fairly rugged hole in the ground, and literally on the other side of the glass wall there's a luxurious bathroom. So I know for the ladies in the past right now, they're kind of looking with great envy at the bathroom on the other side, and I'd hazard to say the guys as well. It's not a comfortable feeling being over there. In the future, of course, when you're looking over at the past, it's hopefully a good motivator for them, because if they were to lose the worldly challenge, then chances are they'll be sent back to the past.
Right. Now, speaking of the differences between the past and the future, it says that there are advantages to each, but I'm kind of having trouble figuring out what any of the advantages would be to be living in the past. Is that something that you can speak about?
Yeah, I can speak to that a bit. I mean, looking at it from a scientist point of view, I like studying human behavior. I like looking at these types of competitions. It's really a breakdown of how we work as human beings, where we've come from, where we are now, and what type of primitive aspects of us, whether it be a hunter-gatherer mentality or fight or flight mechanics that are inside us that can really be drawn out by extreme environments. And I think that's a big part of what these competitions are. It's really sort of breaking people down to their elements and seeing if they can survive or perform in exceptional circumstances. For the people in the past, I think what it does is immediately makes them work as a team. They have to for survival. They have to learn how to, make fire, how to prepare food, how to collect water, and how to ration that water, whether it's, some of it's for washing up, personal hygiene, or for drinking water. They really sort of have to communicate as a full group in order to get the chores done every day. Simple things like food preparation takes a long time when you're chopping veggies and boiling rice and doing all this stuff over a wood fire. It's not as simple as, pulling a meal out of the freezer and zapping it in the microwave. So I think there's a really strong case to be made for the potential for group cohesion and team strength and bonding being formed in the past. Now, whether we see that or not with the particular teams in the past is a whole different issue. It may actually be the thing that fractures them all if they don't have any type of sense of how to survive in that type of environment. But for the right team and the right players, I think being in the past will force them to learn how to, develop a good, strong bond between them, learn how each other works, develop their strengths and weaknesses, identify those, and potentially be stronger and even more hungry for the competition. The advantages of the future are obvious. They're going to be well-rested, well-fed, but will they develop the same type of, hunger and fierceness that the people in the past do? I, for one, looking at modern-day society, don't think that we have the need for that so much. We're much more focused on, social advantages and economic advantages and pushing ourselves forward. I think in the past, it was perhaps more moving the group forward. So we'll see how those play out. I think it's going to be quite dramatic on both sides.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see how that plays out. It actually leads into kind of our next question, which comes from Chris Nicholas over on Twitter. And he wants to know, will the future house guests be limited to their consumption of things like food, alcohol, toiletries, or is it just unlimited for them as long as they're in the future world?
I can't speak to that because that may shape and shift over the course of the competition, but I can say that they're not really wanting for anything. Let's put it that way.
Okay, and how does food work in the past? I mean, I'm assuming that then that's different than the future. Do they have to kind of scavenge for it, or is it provided in a, showy almost type way.
Yeah, well, because they are restricted to a compound. The compound is about 3/4 undercover, and then there's a courtyard outside, which is where there are where the water is dripping down, a little waterfall type thing, so they have to collect their water that way in buckets all day. So they're not actually sort of out going hunting and gathering as we think of it in a real old worldly roaming type way. They are provided with food, but that food is very, very, very basic and often not prepared, so it takes an exhaustive amount of time to do so.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what your role in the game is going to be? Because I know, like on a Survivor, we see Jeff that's much more in there with them during the challenges, cheering them on, versus like a Julie Chen on Big Brother, who's kind of removed from the game but still can influence it. How are you impacting the game as the host?
Well, my role is very much in the same genre as what Jeff would be doing on Survivor. I'm with them at every significant moment of the game. I lead them through their challenges. I'm in control of the challenges. I adjudicate the challenges. I'm also giving them their key points throughout the game. So I'm very actively involved. The only time I'm not actually, doing something with them is when they're in their worlds. So the way that we put it is when they're in the future, when they're in the past, they're inside their own world and they're left to their own devices. When they come out to the present, which is when they leave the house, then they're in my world and they're under my control.
Right. And that's for like the challenges, and we know that there are the team challenges and the individual challenges. So I assume that the team challenges are more to figure out which world you're going to end up in, and individual is more like reward punishment.
Almost. The worldly challenge is the team challenge.
Okay.
So I brief them on that, and then I guide the action throughout. And that is for control of power of the world. So the winner of the worldly challenge will choose where they want to live for the next week. So they have the power to say, we're quite okay in the past, or we're quite okay in the future. We'll stay there. Or they might want to switch worlds. Totally up to the winner of the worldly challenge. The individual challenge is called the Duel of Destiny. And that is an elimination, and that will be held live on Wednesday nights. So that is, the elimination in front of America. The loser of the Duel of Destiny goes home. No questions asked. So it's one of the things I love about this is there is an element of voting and social cohesion within the team as well as with America. But in the end, we have two combatants, going head to head to see who gets to go home.
It sounds amazing. I can't wait. Is there going to be a live feed element? Like, are we going to be able to watch them? I know that you guys are recording them 24/7, but will we be able to watch that somehow online? Or is it just going to be the shows twice a week on SyFy?
I think for the most part, it's going to be the shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. We are rolling with RoboCams 24 hours a day. Whether those feeds get made available or not, we're going to have to see. I believe there is some speak of making some of that action available on the website. So, the best thing I can do is to tell you to check out, oppositeworlds.syfy.com, which is the website devoted to the show, and check it out. They're adding new features every day. So I'm not sure exactly what they'll end up deploying as far as the feeds go.
Well, we'll definitely be directing people there. How long is the show going to run for?
We have 12 episodes over 6 weeks. So the first one, obviously, is Tuesday night, followed by the live elimination with the Duel of Destiny on Wednesday, and that'll be the same formula for every week.
Okay, great. Well, we know that we need to let you go, but I just wanted to say, we kind of got to know you from when you were hosting Capture. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be covering Opposite Worlds all season long on Thursdays. We're actually doing it with James Wallington from the Lime Team on Capture.
From Lime Team.
From the Lime.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I want to know. He's not here right now. Do you have any good dirt on him that we can have or use?
On James, actually, I think he was his real true nature was kind of brought through by the show very well. He was a fierce competitor and kind of a bit sneaky when it came down to it.
Oh,
He kind of played a little bit weak, but he was a devious, scheming guy. He played the game really well, and I think he did well in the show. Obviously, didn't make it through to the end, but
right.
he was not a weak competitor at all.
Right. No, we love James. All right. So,
Yeah, he was great.
Before we wrap it up, I feel like we should talk about the last aspect, which is fans actually have a chance to vote 2 more people into the game by voting on them over on the Opposite Worlds website, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have voting is still open, I believe. We have 4 contestants who are competing for the final 2 spots. So the people actually in the world right now, they believe that they are the only people in this game. They don't know about these extra contestants. They've never met them. They don't know anything about it. And when we choose to introduce them to the game, will be revealed in the shows. But right now, people can go on and see the casting tapes, learn a little bit about these people who potentially could be entering the worlds. So I encourage you to get over there and vote. I know that it's a pretty close contest right now. Just speaking to the producers yesterday, there's it's quite intense over there. So you can choose who goes into the world.
We are officially backing Steve here. We like Steve is our official.
Oh, you're a Steve man, huh? Okay.
We are Steve fans here at Reality Recaps. Well, thank you so much.
Who's your second favorite on the list?
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, Luke. We look forward to the premiere tomorrow night and interacting with you and the show over on Twitter.
No worries, Eric. I'll be live tweeting throughout. Look forward to chatting with you and your fans.
All right. Thanks so much, Luke. So, James.
Yes.
We now have just heard Luke Tipple say that you played a good game and that your true colors were shown, but that maybe he thought you were a little bit of a weak player, but it still seemed like he really liked you in the game. Yeah. And he seemed very good spirited about it, so I felt I should let you respond since I tried to stir the pot there a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know what? Based on what Luke said, I agree. I think my character, what you saw with me and my sister on the show, was 100% who we are. As far as being a weak player, if you look at an athletic resume of the other contestants we were up against, yeah, I would say we were a little bit on the weaker side, not having a strong athletic background. But I think we really held our own and proved our worth with the sabotages and the advantage points, doing 2 in a row, need I say, and taking out, one of the biggest teams in the competition. So I don't think we're necessarily the weaker or the weakest team, Luke, but I can see why you would say that. Well, if you guys want to see more about what James thinks and the cast of Capture, make sure you go check out the Capture Reunion recap show that we did. The links will be below this video. Oh, thank you. Well, we all know that we love James. He didn't say it badly. I think that was very jokingly. I think he was laughing. I think he got that we were just kind of joking. But I know that Luke has a place in his heart for the love of Lime. He loves us. I know it. I cannot wait for Opposite Worlds to start. What an amazing roundtable to discuss the cast. Follow me at Twitter at ComedyJonah. All right, you guys, make sure to check out AfterBuzz TV's Opposite Worlds After Show. We're going to be live on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Well, wait, 9 p.m. West Coast time. So it'll be midnight Eastern Standard Time. But make sure you check that out. But I'm James Wallington, and you can follow me on Twitter at James Wallington. Well, that about wraps up our amazing SyFy Opposite World show for this week, but not really for this week because we will be live tweeting Tuesday and Wednesday night during the shows. We'll probably even do a daily vlog right after Tuesday night show just so that you guys can get our reaction from it immediately. So make sure you check that out over at yourrealityrecaps.com/vlog. Of course, we will be doing our Opposite World show as well as having an interview with the eliminated
eliminated person from the show this coming up Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll have them actually every single Thursday, whoever is eliminated from the house. So much in store for you guys, all about Opposite Worlds, daily blogs, just so much more. You guys know the deal. We are so excited to be covering this show this season for you guys, well, all season long. And of course, you know that we have Dana blogging for The Bachelor. For those of you that love Bachelor, you can check those out over on the website. We're covering Bravo with live recaps, and of course our daily blogs and our reality check show every Saturday night. But you can find all that info over at yourrealityrecaps.com/live show. And I guess we will be back tomorrow with our Bravo show. And look, I don't really want to... Well, here's the deal. Don't hold me to this, but a little birdie told me we might be joined by Kristen and Tom from Vanderpump Rules on tomorrow's Bravo show, or we may not have one at all. So that's the way it's going to go. You'll just have to tune into the live shows page to find out all the info. So until definitely a daily vlog and or our Bravo show tomorrow, we will see you guys all then and be live tweeting for the Opposite Worlds premiere tomorrow night. See you guys all then. Bye for now.